sometimes we deal with organizations who have several employees who are studying with us, and this will allow them to track all of their employees' hours. You can see how much information is being provided here. So this is very important, not just in terms of allowing individuals to see their history, but in terms of, as I said, organizations. So if you are a company who is paying for your employees or other people to get training with us, you will be able to go in and check all of the records for the people that you are paying for. We're in a weird time right now where we got to find ways to identify people who want to do specific jobs. So, for example, we have organizations that have paid us for people to do the refrigeration course, or like the upcoming oiler exam course that we have, the fire life safety director course, EPA 608. So we've trained hundreds of people for different organizations throughout the years. And this is going to make it far, far easier instead of us having to provide information on everybody who the organization is paying for, they will have their own, account where they can log in and see everybody who's tied to that organization, how those people are doing. Because frankly, right now, what I see happening is there are people who believe that nobody wants to work, and that's not the case. If nobody was working, our society would completely collapse. Unfortunately, we don't have enough people working in the different areas that we need them to. So what's happening is that the people who are working, they're being overworked. And it makes it very, very difficult for people to spend the amount of time studying for different, certifications or whatever training that they require, which is why we try to make things so easy in terms of our different apps and the accessibility, but also making it really, really engaging. So with a system like this, if you have an organization that is funding training for different individuals, then you can go in there, track the level of engagement, and then have a conversation and just say, hey, what's going on? Is everything all right? Because what I kind of feel we need to have is, and this is part of the reason we're doing an apprenticeship program, we need to not just incentivize people to go into these fields, but to some degree lower the bar of entry for people entering into certain positions, but make continuous training a condition of that employment. So that's one of the good things, about apprenticeship programs. Not only are you getting on the job training, but then you also have to do related instruction. So we're still in the process of doing our building maintenance mechanic program. Hopefully that'll be approved relatively soon. But even outside of that, when we work with different employers or different, government organizations, we try to prioritize the fact that it's important to find people who want to work in the fields that you're providing the training for, but then also continuous education and training is critical. And a lot of people fall into this trap of saying, I have certain certifications, or I even have the job and I can just stop learning. And that is not the case. What is happening right now, especially as it relates to HVAC and building engineering, basically, literally almost every piece of gas and oil heating equipment inside of New York State has to be replaced within the next, 5 to 10 years. So that's going to involve a massive amount of re-education in terms of new equipment that you're going to be dealing with. But then even beyond that, because we don't have the materials to replace everything now, there has to be, and this is something I'm discovering in creating this Oilers course, is we have to understand how to operate the existing gas, oil, and steam equipment better, more efficiently, so that until we are able to replace it with heat pumps and things of that sort, we're not incurring some of the losses that we're getting right now. Because if you're in a building that's going to get fined with local law 97 fines in the near future, and you don't have the means of replacing that equipment, like, what do you do? you have to find a way to reduce your greenhouse gas emissions somehow. In terms of, again, I'm just trying to show here this tracking system. And, one of the good things is that we have facial recognition, so we can be certain that the people who are getting these hours are, who they claim to be. We have to start to think outside of the box in terms of trying to be able to solve these big problems that are facing us. And this is just one of the ways that we're, trying to come up with solutions.